What is going on, Internet world? My name is Tommy. You probably know me as Rivet, and I'm your coach of the Atlanta Braviaries, the highest flying fly-sucking team on YouTube. And we are here today with our quarterfinals matchup of the UBL playoffs against Celestial and the Mystical Minums. This is going to be a really good match. Welcome to the workshop. Alrighty guys, we are here breaking down our matchup for our quarterfinals match against Celestial and the Mystical Minums. This is going to be a really tough match. He's got a really scary team, and we did lose to him in the regular season, 0-3. So I wish I could say I'm confident about this match, but Celestial's had my number in every single game we've played. I have not beat him yet, and his team is just super spooky, and I don't think I have a super good matchup. But I'm going to try my best nonetheless. So we've been over this already, so this will be a fairly quick overview of his team. But first is Gliscor, very bulky ground flying type, incredibly defensive with the poison heal ability. Very tough to take down in stuff like earthquakes, facades, hit very hard. It can sword stance up, knock off for utility, and U-turn for momentum. It can set and remove stealth rocks as well. So Gliscor probably not coming this match, I don't think. It doesn't do a whole lot for him in this match. Weavile pressures it pretty hard, and it can't really touch stuff like Moltres and Skarmory, so probably expect some other things on his team. Next up is Mega Heracross, an incredibly tough wall breaker, a bug and fighting type with a skill link ability and base 185 attack. It's incredibly strong with moves like Close Combat, Pin Missile, Rock Blast, Bullet Seed. It can Sword Stance up and Substitute as well. It can Iron Defense, which he showed last match. So Mega Heracross is definitely coming. It's a very scary wall breaker. I don't have a lot that deals with it. Close Combat plus Rock Blast kind of smacks my entire team, so something like a sub Sword Stance, Close Combat, Rock Blast set would be really scary. Or last time he was like some weird Iron Defense set, I'm pretty sure. So definitely worried about Mega Heracross. Next up is Scizor, an incredibly scary bug and steel type, a great bullet punch user with Technician. Celestial likes Choice Band a lot, so got to be worried about Scizor. It obviously has that big weakness to fire, but I don't have a whole lot of stuff on my team that appreciates bullet punch spam in the late game outside of Skarmory and Moltres, so I really hope Scizor doesn't come just so I can play my offensive pieces a little bit, a little bit looser in the late and not have to hold on to Moltres the entire game. Next up is Milotic, an incredibly bulky, pure water type with the Marvel Scale and competitive abilities. Very strong. Scald's hurt a lot. It can Ice Beam, it can Flip Turn out for momentum, it can recover up, throw off Toxics. Milotic in this game, I think it probably still comes. He didn't bring it last match, but it's one of his better answers to Weavile. Last time he brought Incineroar as his Weavile check, so I would probably expect Milotic this time. But, my team doesn't like dealing with bulky waters. I really hope it doesn't come, but if it does, I think I have the tools to handle it. Next up is Nihilego, a very strong rock and poison type with the Beast Boost ability, base 103 speed, and Power Gem, Sludge Wave, moves like that, Thunderbolt, Dazzling Gleam, they all hurt incredibly hard coming off this thing. It can Meteor Beam with Power Herb to get an attack boost and then start sweeping in the late game and Beast Boosting up with speed. So Nihilego in this game, it might come. I have a pretty decent answer to it in Gastrodon. Diancie does some good work against it as well. And you can set Stealth Rocks and Toxic Spikes, which could help out stuff like Mega Heracross, but I think he might have some other stuff that's better to fill the slots, but I could still see that in Nihilego, so I have to be wary of it. Next up is Raikou, a very strong electric type, base 115 speed, which is very strong. It's a fantastic Calm Mind user and a substitute user with the pressure ability. Gets moves like Thunderbolt, Volt Switch, Scald, Shadow Ball, and Aura Sphere. Raikou kind of messed me up last game. If he brings it again, he might bring the same set just because it shuts down Gastrodon so hard, but he might switch it up. Maybe something like a more offensive, Calm Mind 3 attack set, or maybe like a Choice Scarf set to throw me off, so I gotta be wary of Raikou. Next up is Togekiss, a very scary flying and fairy type with the Serene Grace ability. Air Slash spamming is obviously incredibly easy. It can Dazzling Gleam and Flamethrower as well. It can Nasty Plot up, it can remove hazards with Defog, it can Thunderwave stuff to help Air Slashing be more effective, and it can Roost for longevity. It can also Heal Bell for clerical support and pass wishes to the rest of the team. Togekiss definitely messed me up last game. He brought a Choice Scarf set that totally, cleaned me in the late game. So I don't know if he'll bring it again. I would definitely still expect Togekiss just because I don't have a lot on my team that handles it super well, but I would still definitely expect it. Maybe a bulkier set this time, maybe a Nasty Plot set, so I gotta be really careful about Togekiss. Next up is Incineroar, a very bulky fire and dark type with the Intimidate ability. It's a fantastic pivot with stuff like Heavy Duty Boots and Parting Shot. Flare Blitzes and knockoffs it incredibly hard. It gets other moves like Earthquake and Iron Head. So Incineroar, he brought it last match. I don't know if he'll bring it again. It's one of his better answers to Weavile, but I didn't bring Weavile last game, and as you'll see, I'm not bringing it again. So he might switch it out for something else like Milotic. Otherwise, it's a pretty solid answer to Gengar. It can switch into Shadow Balls pretty well. Next up is Mesprit, pure Psychic type. Pretty solid across the board with base 105 in most of its stats and then 80 in speed. It's one of his better switch-ins to Mega Medicham. I was pretty surprised he didn't bring it last match. So I'm probably expecting Mesprit this match, I think. But he does have other stuff that on his team that pressures me pretty hard. So if he brings Mesprit, it's probably just a stealth rocking pivoting set with dazzling gleam, something of the sort to hit Mega Metacham and switch into those moves. Because last time he was able to shut down Medi pretty good just because he had Protect on Incineroar, and I made the mistake of bringing High Jump Kick, and I was just too scared to click it. So I'm fully expecting him to expect me to bring Drain Punch this week and to bring Mesprit just because it'll be a more reliable switch in. And then next up, he's got Miltank, a pure normal type with Zap Zipper and Thick Fat abilities. It's a very reliable Stealth Rocker, getting Milk Drink for recovery, Seismic Toss for consistent damage, and Heal Bell off status. Miltank he brought last time, I don't think he'll bring it again. It's a decent switch into Weavile, but I showed that I didn't bring it last time, and then I think he's got better mons to fill the slots this week. So with that out of the way, let's hop into what I am bringing this match. Leading us off, we're bringing the Remedy. Like I said, I made the mistake of bringing High Jump Kick last time. I'm not doing that again. I'm bringing just the same set essentially, but with Drain Punch instead. So Drain Punch, then Headbutt, Ice Punch, Bullet Punch, Max Attack, Max Speed Jolly, to Speed Tie, Offensive Miltank. If that were to come, these moves do a pretty good chunk to his entire team, bar Mesprit. Drain Punch and Zen Headbutt will still do a decent chunk to that just because I am so strong. Ice Punch is there for Gliscor, and Bullet Punch is there for stuff like Togekiss in the late game, or Nihilego if he's speed boosting up. I really need Remedy to do good work this week. I gotta be able to revenge some stuff like Mega Heracross, Scizor, Incineroar, because Remedy was kind of kept on a leash last game just because of my misprep, so I really need that to not happen this game. I really need her to do some good work. Oops, I didn't do the thing. Well, she's there now. Next up, we're bringing Windshear the Skarmory. Windshear rocking a leftover set with the Sturdy ability. Brave Bird, Body Press, Roost, and Defog, fully physically defensive. This is my primary switch in to Mega Heracross just because I am naturally bulky. Brave Bird pressures Mega Heracross a lot. Too close combats hits really, really hard, especially if he's max attack adamant. Body Press is there for something like Scizor switching in, or Milotic so I don't take a recoil. It also hits Incineroar pretty hard. Defog is just there for removing any hazards set by something like Nihilego, and the Roost is just for longevity. Try to keep this thing around to handle Mega Heracross and Scizor, but those two just hit so hard that it might be tough to keep Windshear around, but I really need him to. He's my only switch into Mega Heracross because everything else in my team just gets bodied by his dual Stabbless Rock Blast. So, alright, next up, we are rocking Giggles the Goodra. Giggles running a choice spec set this week with the Sap Zipper ability, Draco Meteor, Thunderbolt, Ice Beam, and Flamethrower. I've been running Assault Vest Giggles pretty consistently every single week, but I think Draco spam looks pretty good in this match. He doesn't have a whole lot that wants to switch into it. His best switch in is obviously Togekiss. Thunderbolt and Ice Beam hit that pretty hard. He's also got Incineroar if he's like a Spit F Incineroar. Draco would hit that pretty good. I could also be running something like Surf, which would hit that pretty hard. Thunderbolt is there for Togekiss. Like I said, it's also there for Milotic. Ice Beam is there for Gliscor, obviously. And then Flamethrower is there for that Scizor coming in. So I really hope Giggles can do some good work. I can hopefully maybe catch like a Bullet Seed coming from Mega Heracross maybe. I don't know if he'd click that, but try to get a boost off and a free switch in. So I'm really hoping Giggles can do some work. I need this thing to try to break some holes in his team. I don't know if he'll be expecting specs just because I have been so consistent in just bringing Assault Vest. And Assault Vest Giggles is fairly decent against stuff like Milotic and Nihilego this week, so maybe he'll expect a bulkier set. Next up, we're rocking Dr. Milburn the Moltres. Milburn running a defensive set this week with heavy duty boots, Mystical Fire, Air Slash, U-Turn, and Roost. Enough speed for uninvested Miltank, and then just the rest thrown into physical bulk to try to take on that Scizor. Obviously, a banned knockoff is going to do a lot. Losing my boots would be really bad, but this is my primary switch into Scizor just because Windshear has to take on that Mega Heracross. Milburn can switch into Mega Heracross maybe if I get a prediction right on a Rock Blast. I got it wrong last time, so maybe that'll happen, but Mystical Fire is there for going into stuff like Raikou and Togekiss that want to switch in lowering its special attack. Air Slash is there for punishing Mega Heracross, and then U-Turn just for momentum and Roost for longevity. I gotta keep Milburn around. I can't lose it because Bullet Punch spam from Choice Banded Scizor kind of messes me up in the late game, especially if Windshear's not there. So I really gotta. Milburn needs to try to just keep that thing in check. But again, something like a banded knockoff would do a whole lot to me. Hopefully, I can catch a Flame Body Burn on something like a U-Turn. That would make my life a lot easier. But can't rely on that RNG. Next up, we're bringing Diancie Symphony Regalia coming with a bulky leftover set this week in the Clear Body ability, Diamond Storm, Moonblast, Stealth Rock, and Reflect, fully specially defensive. Last time I brought a cheesy Trick Room set and it did absolutely nothing. It just died really early. Ended up losing to Togekiss because of it, so I'm just bringing standard Diancie this week. I expect him to know I'm bringing standard Diancie for that and him to counter prep it, but realistically I have nothing better and I really need something to keep that Togekiss in check. So Diamond Storm hits his entire team pretty hard. He doesn't have a rock resist. Moonblast hits stuff like Gliscor a little bit harder. Stealth Rock is just there for hazards to punish stuff like Togekiss coming in if he loses his boots. And then Reflect is there to help me take on hits from Mega Heracross better. If he wants to come in, try to smack me up a little bit, but Reflect can make Wind Shear take it on a little bit better. It can also help out Moltres against something like Scizor. So if he crits me, that would be bad, but otherwise Symphony's job is to keep that Togekiss in check, keep that Nihilego in check. If he's a beast boosting set, that'll do a lot, but Diamond Storm hits that pretty hard just because he is so physically frail. Don't need to run Earth Power or anything like that. This also is a decent switch into Incineroar if he's not carrying Iron Head, like I said. I kind of expected him to bring Iron Head last time, and he didn't, and I kind of just told that in the video, so I'm fully expecting him to bring Iron Head this time, just because he knows that I was expecting it. But, you know, hopefully Symphony can do her job and switch into those mons. And then last but not least, we're bringing Catherine II. Serena coming this week with a leftover set in Queenly Majesty. Drop Kick, U-Turn, Aromatherapy, and Synthesis. Max HP. I've got enough speed on here for uninvested Mega Heracross. I believe if he's running like a bulky set, I can U-Turn out on it. And then I have enough HP and Special Defense investment. That's something like a +1 Life Orb. Raikou is not 3-shotting me, or is not 2-shotting me with Aura Sphere, so I can, you know, Synthesis that off and force him to take Life Orb Recoil or something of the sort. So, and then just the rest thrown into my attack with the Adamant Nature to let me hit stuff like Raikou and Milotic pretty hard. So last time I brought Gastrodon on as my Milotic and Raikou check, and it didn't work at all. He got chipped down by Toxic, which I expected. So this lets him Volt Switch on my team if he brings something like a Choice Scarf or Choice Spec set, which he totally could. It'll let him Volt Switch around my team and just get momentum. But I'm bringing Aromatherapy this time to, you know, help out the team, keep Toxic from whittling me down, and just U-turn for pivoting. So I really hope this set works. I really need it to. Raikou definitely ran me over last week, just, you know, taking out Gastrodon and everything. But with that all out of the way, let's hop into this match. This is going to be really tough. Like I said, I wish I was feeling confident, but I'm frankly not. Celestial is he's a really good battler. He's beaten me every time. He's just got my number. And I think I'm definitely not in the driver's seat, especially in prep after losing last time and just having to essentially be forced to bring so many things that I think he'll be expecting me to bring. But, you know, try my best anyway. So with that out of the way, let's hop into this match. Alrighty guys, we're about to hop into this quarterfinals matchup against Celestial and the Mystical Minums. You can see the 6 I expect them to bring up on the screen. Mega Heracross, Milotic, Scizor, Raikou, Togekiss, and Incineroar. I could definitely see that Gliscor maybe. I could also definitely see Mesprit. Pretty much anything's on the table, but you've seen the 6 I am bringing and why I am bringing them. If you haven't, go check out the team builder. But without any further ado, let's just hop into this match. Okay, we see Mesprit, we see Miltank again. No Scizor means that I fully regret putting Moltres on there at the last second. No Milotic again. I still don't understand, but okay. Definitely not surprised to see Mesprit just because of Medi. But Miltank, I still don't really know what you're doing here, frankly. But Togekiss is a massive issue, as is Mega Heracross. So from a lead perspective, he could definitely lead Mesprit to pivot or set rocks. He could lead Raikou to pivot, Incineroar to pivot. He has a lot of viable leads. I could lead Giggles and try to thrash something off the bat. I don't hate that idea. I'd have to probably go straight for Thunderbolt because I don't know what his switch-in is. It's probably Togekiss, just because I don't know if he'll expect me to be Specs. I can lead Symphony, try to get my own rocks up, but I don't like that against the Incineroar lead. And I got to keep that healthy for... I could also lead Milburn. It matches up fairly decent against those. And I can pivot out or feign like I have offensive pressure. And I don't super need Milburn just because I don't see Scizor, so I'm gonna lead Milburn. Let's do that. He's gonna lead Miltank. So this thing could be carrying Rock Slide. I doubt it. He's probably just gonna set rocks. If he's got special defense investment, which I would expect him to, I'm just gonna go for a U-turn here. If I've got speed for uninvested Miltank, so I should be able to get the fast pivot. If he's uninvested, I can go into Wind Shear fairly safely and threaten pretty hard with a body press. So U-turn doing 10. He's got some physical investment in there, it looks like. So I'm just going to go straight into Wind Shear. If he goes for rocks, that's okay. I can defog. He's just going to go straight for Seismic Toss. That's fine. I'm going to get some health back thanks to leftovers. I can go for a nice little body press here. Try to catch something coming in. I threaten everything fairly hard. Mesprit probably comes in here. But then I can go into Giggles and try to put on some pressure. So, he's just going to go straight into Togekiss. Okay. He's definitely Boots. He's probably Boots. I'm just going to go straight into Diancie. I can try to get my rocks up. If he goes for Nasty Plot, that would be bad. He can double into Mega Heracross. That would also be bad. But this, I gotta play it safe for now and see what he's gonna do. He's just gonna go straight for Deagleam. That does 28. That's definitely offensive because I am max special defense and a Diancie. Dazzling Gleam, yeah. He's max modest. Yeah, he's max special attack modest. I can get my rocks up or I can go for a reflect. I don't hate the reflect option. I don't know what he goes into here, probably Miltank. But setting up my rocks isn't a terrible choice. He's very special. He's very offensive. So I definitely got to keep Symphony around. He could be Scarf modest. That's also another option that he definitely could be. I'm going to set up a reflect. I mean, realistically, if he's got defog, it's on this guy. But at the same time, from Windshear's current health, he can't take 2 close combats from Heracross. But he's not going to switch into Heracross. If he does, immediately, that's a really bold play. Because I could go for Moonblast. I would expect him to just go into Mesprit here or Miltank, so I'm just going to set rocks. Yeah, Miltank comes out, that's fine. We're probably going to trade rocks here. He can also go for Seismic Toss. I could go into Giggles. Since this thing is offensive, he's not going to take a Thunderbolt very well. I can go into Giggles and try to be offensive, put on some pressure. He's probably going to go for rocks, and realistically, the worst thing he can do is Thunder Wave me. So I'm going to go into Giggles and try to put it. He's going to set his rocks. Yep. So this is a 50-50 on whether I click Draco or Thunderbolt. If I click Thunderbolt and Raikou comes in, I'll be in a tough spot. But if I click Draco and Togekiss comes in, then I'm on the back foot. Because Symphony's going to take another big Dazzling Gleam and rocks. So I'm going to go for Thunderbolt. He stays in. Wow, he's very Spadef. Dang, that did a lot less than I was expecting. And he's just going to Milk Drink here. Wow. Yeah, that didn't do anything. So I can either go into Remedy and try to put on pressure. I can go into Windshear and try to defog. I can Aromatherapy this later with Catherine, which isn't the worst thing in the world. But he's definitely either just going to Seismic Toss or Milk Drink. I always underestimate Miltank's bulk. That did nothing. Jesus. And now he knows I'm Specs, probably, if he's calcing. But I'm just going to go into Milburn. I can take anything, really. He's going to go for Seismic Toss. I got a Flame Body Burn. That doesn't really matter. It's going to negate his leftovers. And realistically, I don't have Toxic on anything, so that's not the worst thing in the world. I can go for an Air Slash here, or I can roost off that damage. I think I'm just going to go for an Air Slash. Chip down something. If he goes into Raikou, that's fine. I can go into Serena. Alright, well, he gets his Milk Drink off. That kind of stinks. But he's probably just going to keep spamming Seismic Toss. But realistically, I gotta try to get into Remedy. So I'll fire off another Air Slash here and see what he wants to go for. Alright, so he comes out. That's fine. We see Boots. That does a decent chunk. That looks like he's probably physically offensive just because I have no special attack on here. I mean, Moltres is strong, but at the same time, that shouldn't have done nearly that much, I don't think. He's got some. He's mixed defenses. I can Air Slash again. I would lose my Boots, and that's bad. I can go hard into Remedy. He's just going to go for knockoff here. That's the thing. Or Iron Head. I think I want to try to go into Remedy and be aggressive. Let's see how much he would do to me before I do that. A knockoff wouldn't do a lot. If he went for Flare Blitz, he would nearly kill me. But I bet he's just going to knock off. So I'm going to go into Remedy. Please don't click anything else. He's going to Toxic. That's okay. If I were to bet, Mesprit just comes out here. But I'm going to Mega and just click Drain Punch. I'll get some health back and I'll chip something. And again, I can. Oh, he's going to stay in. Well, you're dead. That's good. I don't know what his plan was. I guess he mispredicted. He thought I was going to go for Ice Punch or something to catch Togekiss. He's not Boots. He's definitely Scarf. I'm going to definitely not stay in. Symphony is an okay play. Windshear is also not a terrible play, nor is Giggles. But I think I'm actually going to go into Milburn because it's my least useful member, and I want to try to keep Symphony healthy. And if I can pivot with U-turn, that'd be great to try to get into. I don't want Symphony to take... I mean, realistically, he's going to do, what, 25? I'm going to take a bunch from rocks, and then I can fire off a Moonblast fairly free of charge. But I definitely want to try to get into Wind Shear and defog these hazards away, and I definitely want to get into Catherine and try to Aromatherapy to keep these two healthy. But let's go into Mildren this time, see what he goes for. He goes for Trick. Well, he's going to get Boots. I am Scarfed now. I'm very glad I didn't go into Symphony, but that means I got to defog these away like right now because I'm sitting here. Oh man, that's not good. Well, I'm going to go for Mystical Fire and try to lower this thing. Oh, he's just going to go into Miltank. Yeah. Alright, well, I'm going to try to go into Scarm. If he doubles, well, I'm going to try to defog these hazards away. 30, that's fine. He's probably going to go into Togekiss here, but I'm gonna defog. If he stays in for whatever reason, I can Roost on the following turn. I mean, no, I can't because he'll outspeed me. But I don't think he'd stay in here because a Body Press would kind of squish him. I can also Roost up for longevity because I need this for Heracross. Do I care about more hazards or hazard control? I got to keep Skarmory healthy. He's going to stay in Seismic Toss. That's okay. I'm going to get a nice Roost off. And now I'm in a position where I can defog safely, and then if he stays in and goes forward again, I can get it off. So Toge's going to come out here. I'm going to defog these hazards away. Now I'm safe to go into Symphony. He's probably going to go for a Dazzling Gleam. He's going to go for Flamethrower this time. Totally okay. He's going to burn me. That's bad. That's going to lower my Diamond Storm damage. Well, that majorly stinks. That nice little Serene Grace cheese there. I can set my Rockies back up, force him to try to defog later. Realistically, I don't know what his removal is. I can also set up a Reflect. If I were him, I'd try to go into Heracross here and be aggressive. But I'm gonna click Moonblast. Because realistically, Miltank probably comes out here. Miltank can probably take any hit, and we would trade rocks anyway. And I don't want to have to... He'll probably try to set him up again. So I'm just going to go for Moonblast. Yeah, Miltank comes out. Let's see how well he takes this. Alright, well, he gobbles it up. He can either set rocks or he can Milk Drink. Either way, my play is to go into Remedy and click Zen Headbutt, I think. Or I can go into Catherine and try to Aromatherapy. I don't hate that option either. But I got to keep him healthy for her healthy for Raikou. But I want to try to Aromatherapy, so let's do this. He's going to set his rocks, but I'm going to Aromatherapy and then I'll get the slow pivot. Obviously, I can't do anything. He might have Sap Sipper. The damage from Moltres would lead me to believe he's definitely Thick Fat for Weavile. But I'm gonna get a nice little Aromatherapy off here. But actually, I do want to check that Moltres damage to see if I could drop kick into this thing if I wanted to. Alright, he's gonna go straight into Togi. That's perfectly okay. I'm gonna get my Aromatherapy off. We're clean. Mystical Fire did 14. Yeah, he's Thick Fat. I can either try to get the slow pivot, but I definitely don't like that option. I'm just going to go straight, and I can go into Milburn, take a hit, and then I can fire off a U-turn or an Air Slash, because I want to try to keep Symphony a little bit healthy. I don't want her to take 2 hits, but healing up the team is fantastic. I like the Milburn play. Let's do that. Oh, he's going to double into Heracross. That's perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. He's definitely not going to stay in here. If he does, he's a god. Air Slash is fairly free. It chips pretty much everything down. I got to beat that Miltank, though. If I were to bet Mesper comes out here, or Raikou, well, there's no way he stays in for this. If he does, I'll go into Wind Shear. No, I'm going to click Air Slash. Yeah, Miltank just comes out. That's fine. Boink. If I were to bet, he's going to try to set his rocks here. So I'm going to go into... Or he's going to Seismic Toss. Either way, I want to go into... what do I want to do? I think I want to go into Remedy and try to be aggressive. He's going to set his rocks again. Totally okay. My play is Zen Headbutt, I think. Or I can go for Ice Punch and try to hit that Mesprit. Let's see what we do more. I'm assuming he's a defensive set. Ice Punch does the most. Yeah, nothing does really anything to that guy. So let's go for He won't stay in because last time he tried to do that, he died. So let's go for an Ice Punch here. And Mesprit comes out. This will do a decent chunk, 28. Yeah, okay, he's fully defensive. Harden to Giggle. I can go into Wind Shear and try to defog, but this thing learns Flamethrower, I believe. I gotta check that. Alright, no Flame. It does learn Thunderbolt. He's definitely got Thunderbolt. So I'm going to go into Catherine. Try to pivot with U-turn. Oh, he's going to fire off a Future Sight. That's bad. That's not good at all. I believe I'll get the slow pivot here. Unless I put speed on this thing for Mesprit. But I can try to get into Giggles and fire off a move. I do have speed. That's fine. I'm just going to go into Giggles. I can take probably any hit from this thing. The Future Sight won't do a ton. He's gonna U-turn as well. He's gonna get into. I don't know what he goes into here actually. Probably Miltank, and then he might go into Miltank and double into Togekiss. But he was definitely modest on that Togekiss, the amount of damage he did to me. So I would outspeed him because I'm timid. I don't know if he knows that, but I should outspeed most of it. He goes into Togekiss. I'm gonna click Thunderbolt. You are offensive, buddy. Togekiss. If I were to bet, he goes into Miltank here to take this hit. But I'm very fast. Thunderbolt should kill. Yes. All right, Togekiss is dead. Fantastic. I take the Future Sight. That's totally okay. I'd rather Giggles take that than anybody else. Because at this point, Giggles has done his job, or done her job. I would like Giggles to stay around to handle Raikou, but Heracross is going to come in. I am locked into Thunderbolt, and I'm going to stay in and spam Thunderbolt so that he can't set up. I should be fast. I'm faster than this thing, and this will still do a decent chunk. And then after this, I can get into Remedy and click a move. So I'm going to do that. Let's click Thunderbolt. See how much this does. 39. He's going to sub up. That's fine. I have to stay in. I had a feeling sub was coming again. He's going to CC now. Yep. And now I can go into Remedy and click Zen Headbutt. Mesprit doesn't super want to take that, and he'll get the pivot. But I don't want Milburn to take 50%. So I'm going to go into Remedy. And from this Mega Heracross, Giggles Thunderbolt did 39, which means he's HP invested. So at -1, Remedy's Ice Punch will kill. So I'm going to click Ice Punch. If Miltank comes in, that's fine. I'll click Drain Punch right afterwards. If Mesprit comes in, I don't know if it'll take 2. Miltank's going to come out. That's okay. Miltank's going to eat that. If he's max speed, then okay. I'm just going to go for Drain Punch now. No reason for me to overpredict. He's going to get into Raikou here. But if at that point, I believe that's when I want to go in and... If he goes into... Okay, he's just going to go straight into Mesprit. He's going to get another Future Sight off. I could Ice Punch twice. How much did the last one do? Not enough worth leftovers. But I'm going to... Man, I really want to get these rocks out of here. Catherine, I should try to keep healthy for Raikou. I'm going to go into Symphony, I think. See what he goes for. I can take a Future Sight if he tosses one off. He just goes straight for Declaim. Totally okay. I can set Reflect. I can go for Diamond. Moonblast is my better play because it'll hit Mesprit for more. So let's go for a Moonblast. See what he goes into. It's probably Raikou. Oh, he's just going to go straight into Mega Heracross. Bye. Alright, Attagirl Symphony. Way to pick that up. Now, the key, I cannot stress this enough, is I cannot lose to set up Raikou. Because that thing is sitting here and it has the potential to smack me like 17 ways to Sunday. Yeah, so Raikou comes in. He's going to set up a substitute. The question is, do I try to Diamond Storm so that he can't do that? I only have 4 of those. Or do I try to go into Catherine? Or does Moonblast break? It depends on how much investment he's got. Because while I am uninvested, Diancie's fairly chunky. So if he's rocking like max HP, Moonblast should still break, and I want to see what you're going to do. So I'm going to click Moonblast. He's just going to Toxic me immediately. That's totally okay. Moonblast, 36. He's got no investment. He's leftovers. He's the sub-Toxic set again. So if I were to bet you go for sub now, I'm going to go into Catherine. Catherine is designed to take on the sub-Toxic Raikou. He's going to go for sub. There it is. And he's going to Toxic now. I'm going to click Drop Kick, and I can start aromatherapy and stuff. Because I knew the sub Raikou was coming again, because it did so well against Gastro last time, and that's why I didn't bring Gastro. Because that thing was, the sub Raikou was just the perfect set to beat that. But I can break this thing sub every time. He missed his Toxic, I'm sorry. But I can just spam Drop Kick for a good number of turns. And just make him hit himself. Mesprit's going to come out. He's going to take a Drop Kick. 24. I'm going to click it again. There's the Future Sight. And now I'm going to click a U-turn. And I'm going to go into... What is my least useful member that I can... see. I want to see if Moltres... how does Future Sight work? So Future Sight is going to hit me the next turn, I think. Mystical Fire will break a Raikou, or it'll lower his special attack. So let's go into Milburn. And I think that the Future Sight's going to kill me. He's going to get a sub up here, but I'm going to lower his special attack. So let's go for Mystical Fire. Alright, well, Milburn's dead. Let's see if Future Sight comes down now. Yep, okay, perfect. And then Catherine's going to come in, and I'm just going to click Drop Kick a couple times. And hopefully she picks it up. Come on, Catherine. Bring this home for me. He's just going to go straight for T-Bolt. Catherine's going to pick up the last kill. Man, GG's. That's what I call a riveting win. Fantastic start to the playoffs. I'm so glad. Oh, my God. And I am so stoked to finally beat Celestial. He's such an amazing battler, and he brought some great stuff. I know he was having computer difficulties, so that might have screwed some stuff up. So I'm very sorry if that's at all possible. But man, I'm just so stoked to have beaten him, because that's a big milestone for me, is beating Celestial, because he has whooped my ass several times in very convincing fashion. But we are on to next week in the playoffs for UBL. We are in the semifinals, but oh my God, we have so many tough opponents to face. We don't know who our opponent is yet. For next week, as we were the first battle, but anybody it could be anybody in there, and I don't want to play him at all. So anybody like Adam, Voldark, Coward, Bassoon Boy again, anyone. So thank you guys so much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed the battle. Leave a like for Celestial. He played fantastic. Subscribe for you guys. Subscribe if you're new. We have some amazing Pokemon content coming up with the end of the UBL, the SDF and NPBA progressing, and then we have a brand new draft league starting up very soon, which is going to be really fantastic. I think you'll enjoy it a lot. So thank you guys so much as always, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.